After all, tomorrow is another day.
On this day in 1942, Casablanca made its debut in theaters, quickly becoming one of the most cherished films in cinematic history. This classic romance, set against the backdrop of World War II, stars Humphrey Bogart as Rick Blaine, a cynical American expatriate who runs a nightclub in the Moroccan city of Casablanca. The film's poignant love story unfolds as Rick encounters his former lover, Ilsa Lund, played by Ingrid Bergman, sparking a narrative filled with themes of sacrifice, loyalty, and the fight against tyranny. What's your favorite Hollywood classic? Let us know in the comments.
Number 10, The Wizard of Oz.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
This adaptation of L. Frank Baum's fantasy novel is one of the first movies that many of us saw as a child. And because of that, it is burned into our brains. But even without that nostalgia factor, The Wizard of Oz is still one of the best films ever made. Judy Garland's voice immediately endears us to Dorothy as she longs to get out of Kansas.
Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue.
The film is also set apart by its unforgettable switch from black and white to Technicolor. The black and white palette holds a certain comfort that makes you think of home. And with the switch to color, the first time you see Oz, you're just as amazed as Dorothy.
And I'm not going to leave here ever again, because I love you all. And, oh, Auntie Em, there's no place like home.
Number 9, West Side Story.
Tonight, the world is wild and bright, going mad, shooting sparks into space.
From the very first moments of 1961's West Side Story, it's apparent that a masterpiece is coming your way. Based on the Broadway musical of the same name, the movie combines the emotional heights of Shakespeare with a modern dance sensibility that changed the game forever.
I feel stunning and entrancing, feel like running and dancing for joy, for I'm loved by a pretty, wonderful boy.
The film follows Tony and Maria, two lovers who stand on opposite sides of a gang conflict between the White Jets and the Puerto Rican Sharks. Through movement that has to be seen to be believed, choreographer Jerome Robbins leads us on a whirlwind love story that has never left our minds.
Easy does it, easy does it, turn off the juice boy.
Number 8, Roman Holiday. A Vespa ride around Rome with Gregory Peck and Audrey Hepburn? Yes, please. In Roman Holiday, Hepburn stars as Princess Anne, a royal who longs for freedom away from regal duties.
Well, this is what is laughingly known as my apartment.
Did you bring me here by force?
No. Quite the contrary.
While sneaking away to experience the city, she meets Peck's Joe Bradley, a journalist who doesn't realize at first who she is. While Bradley is supposed to be chasing an exclusive interview, he starts to fall in love with her instead.
Promise not to watch me go beyond the corner. Just drive away and leave me, as I leave you.
Roman Holiday is overflowing with romance. The chemistry between Peck and Hepburn leaps off the screen, and the end leaves you with a sense of bittersweet yearning.
Joe Bradley, American News Service.
So happy, Mr. Bradley.
Number 7, Rebecca.
Well, I'm the best judge of whether you belong there or not. Of course, if you don't love me, that's a different thing. Fine blow to my conceit, that's all.
Oh, I do love you. I love you most dreadfully. I've been crying all morning because I thought I'd never see you again.
During his lifetime, Alfred Hitchcock solidified his place in Hollywood as one of the best directors. But one of his best films came rather early on in his career. Rebecca is a psychological slow burn about the marriage between Maxim de Winter and his second wife, played by Laurence Olivier and Joan Fontaine, respectively.
You didn't go into the cottage, did you?
Yes, the door.
Well, don't go there again, do you hear?
Well, why not?
Because I hate the place, and if you had my memories, you wouldn't go there or talk about it or even think about it.
What's the matter? Oh, I'm sorry, please.
The ghost of Maxim's first wife, Rebecca, haunts the couple's huge mansion, and the housekeeper, Mrs. Danvers, floats around just as eerily. Hitchcock masterfully delivers a spine-tingling story, and the performances send the film over the edge as one of the best.
Do you think the dead come back and watch the living?
I don't believe it.
Sometimes. I wonder if she doesn't come back here to Manderley. Watch you and Mr. De Winter together.
Number 6, Double Indemnity. When it comes to noir, this one has double the fun. Although Double Indemnity doesn't feature sex of any kind, the way Walter and Phyllis speak to each other could be classified as downright naughty.
How fast was I going, officer?
I'd say around 90.
Suppose you get down off your motorcycle and give me a ticket.
Suppose I let you off with a warning this time.
Suppose it doesn't take.
Suppose I have to whack you over the knuckles.
The noir genre ruled the 1940s, but the film's slick dialogue pushes it above the rest. Fred MacMurray and Barbara Stanwyck star as Walter and Phyllis, two lovers who conspire to kill the latter's husband for his money.
Call me tomorrow, but not from your house, from a booth. And watch your step every single minute. This has got to be perfect, you understand? Straight down the line.
Straight down the line.
However, it soon becomes apparent that Phyllis is not what she seems. Billy Wilder's film is one for the books, with masterful direction and a legacy that cannot be ignored.
Don't tell me it's because you've been in love with me all this time.
No, I never loved you, Walter, not you or anybody else. I'm rotten to the heart. I used you just as you said.
Number 5, Gone with the Wind.
No, I don't think I will kiss you. Although you need kissing badly. That's what's wrong with you. You should be kissed and often, and by someone who knows how.
Well, I suppose you think you're the proper person.
I might be.
Frankly, my dear, there's no way we couldn't put this one on the list. Gone with the Wind was released to wide acclaim in 1939. The film stars Clark Gable and Vivien Leigh as two stubborn romantic leads living in the South during the Civil War.
And if a bullet gets me, so help me, I'll laugh at myself for being an idiot. There's one thing I do know, and that is that I love you, Scarlett. In spite of you and me and the whole silly world going to pieces around us, I love you.
While there are certainly criticisms to be had of the film, for the most part, its cultural estimation only grew in the years after its release. When adjusted for inflation, the film is still the most financially successful film ever made in box office terms. Released in 1939 and still with that kind of impact? Now that is something to be impressed about.
Red, you go. Where shall I go? What shall I do?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Number 4, It Happened One Night.
By a strange coincidence, I was thinking of you.
Really?
Yeah. I was just wondering what makes dames like you so dizzy.
You know all those romantic comedies you love? Sleepless in Seattle, When Harry Met Sally, and the like? Well, you have It Happened One Night to thank. The 1934 pre-code masterpiece is widely regarded as one of the best films ever, and has pretty much every rom-com trope you know and love.
I wish you'd stop being playful.
Oh, so sorry. Sorry. You know, this is the first time in years I've ridden piggyback.
This isn't piggyback.
Of course it is.
You're crazy.
Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert are endlessly charming as two hapless people who meet on the road and strike up a relationship. Hijinks, room sharing, negging, and so much flirting ensue. Gable and Colbert definitely contribute to the film's whimsical, slapsticky charm, but it's also got a great script to match.
Aren't you going to give me a little credit?
What for?
Well, I've proved once and for all that the limb is mightier than the thumb.
Number 3, Singin' in the Rain.
Good morning, good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning to you.
When it comes to movie musicals, you can't do much better than Singin' in the Rain. Gene Kelly almost single-handedly changed the game for movie musicals, expanding the imagination of what they could do. His innovative ideas hit a fever pitch in 1952's Singin' in the Rain.
You mean it's going to say up on the screen that I don't talk and sing for myself?
Of course. What do you think?
Can't do that!
It's already done. And there's a whole publicity campaign being planned.
The movie isn't just a happy-go-lucky musical. It is a hysterical examination of the change from silent films to talkies, and a delightfully satirical take on movie making. But of course, because it's Gene Kelly, it also has musical sequences that will make your jaw drop.
Everyone from the place, come on with the rain, I've a smile on my face.
Number 2, Citizen Kane.
On the other hand, I am the publisher of the Inquirer. As such, it's my duty, and I'll let you in on a little secret. It's also my pleasure
To see to it that decent, hard-working people in this community aren't robbed blind by a pack of money-mad pirates.
Sometimes when everyone says something is great, it's because it really is great. But the thing that's truly incredible about Orson Welles' Citizen Kane is that Welles' first film was his masterpiece. That's right, Citizen Kane was Welles' feature directorial debut. Ironically, Welles' naivety on set is part of what makes the film so amazing.
I made no campaign promises, because until a few weeks ago, I had no hope of being elected.
Welles would ask his cinematographer, Greg Toland, to do things that a more experienced director might have deemed impossible from the get-go. But Toland tried out some of Welles' ideas, and wouldn't you know it, they worked. And we got one of the most innovative films in history.
From now on, everything will be exactly the way you want it to be. Not the way I think you want it, but your way.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. It's a Wonderful Life, a Christmas classic for the ages.
You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down. Hey, that's a pretty good idea. I'll give you the moon, Mary.
I'll take it.
Sunset Boulevard. The pictures never looked this good.
You're Norma Desmond. Used to be in silent pictures. Used to be big.
I am big. It's the pictures that got small.
The Philadelphia Story. Jimmy Stewart and Cary Grant? Sign us up.
Listen, I'd sell my grandmother for a drink. You know I love my grandmother.
Well, Uncle Willie's around in the pantry doing weird and wonderful things. Tell him I said one of the same.
Mind if I make it two?
That's between you and your grandmother.
The Maltese Falcon. One of the most iconoclastic noirs.
What is it?
The stuff that dreams are made of.
Some like it hot. We sure like it hot.
Go back to where the millionaires are. The sweet end of the lollipop, not the coleslaw in the face, the old socks, and the squeezed-out tube of toothpaste.
That's right. Pour it on. Talk me out of it.
Number 1, Casablanca.
If that plane leaves the ground and you're not with him, you'll regret it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon and for the rest of your life.
But what about us?
We'll always have Paris.
We all go to the cinemas looking for magic. Every once in a while, a movie comes along that gives you that magical feeling and then some. Casablanca hit theaters in 1942, and funnily enough, wasn't a massive runaway hit upon its release. The movie did well initially and was respected enough to win Best Picture at the Oscars that year. But as the years have gone by, critical and popular esteem has grown in spades for this World War II romance.
Of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine.
Maybe it's the iconic lines of dialogue. Maybe it's the remarkable romantic chemistry between Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman. Whatever it is, it's definitely magic.
Someday you'll understand that. Now. He's looking at you, kid.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.